Are we doing this? Really? Wait for it. Are we doing this? Wait for it. Pow!
What the fuck?
WTF.
And it's also, what the fuck?
What's wrong with me? It's time for WTF.
What the fuck?
With Marc Maron.
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers? What the fuck buddies? What the fucking ears? What the fuckaricans? What the fuckanucks? I didn't mean to have that weird mental break in the middle of my intro. I am Marc Maron. This is WTF. Thanks for joining me. Today on the show, Aubrey Plaza. You read about it in Entertainment Weekly a while ago, and now she's here in the garage by the magic of podcasting. I was thrilled to talk to her. A couple of things before I get into that. First of all, this show is being brought to you by, that's the old way to do it. This show is being brought to you by Comedy Central. My new comedy CD, This Has to Be Funny, comes out tomorrow on Comedy Central Records, and so does Michael Ian Black's CD, Very Famous. Get them both on iTunes or anywhere you get your music. Comedy Central Records. Did I mention my CD is coming out tomorrow? See, that's a little bit of the price you pay for advertising in a way. Wouldn't it be nice for me to just say my CD, but now also Michael Ian Black's CD, Very Famous, comes out tomorrow as well. I had no idea that was going to happen, and that's the position I'm in. I am now married to Michael Ian Black in that promo because our CDs come out on the same day. But you know what? I'm going to be big about it, and I'm going to say buy both of them. I'm sure Michael Ian Black's CD is very funny, and I know some of you know there's tension between me and Michael, but that is all fabricated, at least on his side. And on my side, it's something I have to wrestle with. You know, I keep getting humbled by my defensiveness and my mild condescension, ranging to major condescension as it's misunderstood. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just prickly, I guess. I'm just a little reactionary. And that's the other thing I want to talk about. I got Aubrey Plaza on the show today. I talked to a lot of young people. Oh, no, I'm that guy. You know, these youngsters, these kids today, you know, with their big ideas. We were doing that years ago. We did that already. No one's going to do that music like the music. See, there's something about getting old and the way that I hang on to things. I'm not going to generalize for everybody, but I am sort of a dick sometimes to younger comics. I'm supportive in their desire to do comedy and make it happen. But I do find that I can be a little condescending, and I'd like to think it was just something that comes from a real analytical place, but I'm starting to think, Jesus Christ, am I just getting old? Am I just holding on to this idea that my generation of comics or my generation of music is really the best stuff? Isn't that what every fucking old person does? It's not like when I was a kid. Yeah, it's moved on. Sure, there's a lot of crap, and there was a lot of crap when I was a kid too, but at some point, you know, I got to open up the heart and realize, you know, some things are happening now. Everything didn't happen when I was a kid. Everything didn't happen when my parents were kids. Something happens every generation, something good. Oh man, I just can't believe I'm drifting into that old guy thing. But I can't fit as much as I used to into my brain. That's the other thing. It's like there's a lot of new things going on. There's things on the computer that is sitting in front of me that enable me to do that I don't. I make choices. I don't know where people have the time to take in videos, to take in news necessarily, to go find new music. I mean, where do they find the time? It takes all I have to just get through a day and get 5 things done. And I'm compulsive. And you know what, honestly, my brain is getting a little older, and there's certain things that are happening inside of it that are disabling my ability to remain interested or compulsive about feeding it just a shitload of new stuff. And you know what? I'm more relaxed about it. Maybe I don't need all that shit in my head. I'm getting old. I'm the rambling old guy. Holy shit, when is Mark going to shut up? When's the old guy going to quit yammering about what it was like back in the day? Jesus Christ, am I living in a fucking Bruce Springsteen song? Wow. I got to move on through that shit. Everything's new. Everything's new starting today. I am born again with a teenage brain. That doesn't sound good. That sounds illegal, kind of. Wait, I just remembered I did do something new. I went to see Kevin Smith's Red State. I was invited by Kevin Smith. It was me and a few other cats. Joe Rogan was there. It was like a podcasters convention. I didn't know what to expect. I've talked to Kevin. I've seen his films. And I got to be honest with you, I just was blown away by it. This movie had balls. It had surprise. It had blood and guts. It had multi-layers of politics and religion. And I had no idea what I was walking into. And I cannot tell you what a thrill it is to be able to walk up to an artist and say, dude, I fucking like that movie. You did something here, man. The camera was moving. It's the best thing you've ever done. It is so amazing to be able to say that to somebody who created something. I mean, that movie is a mind fuck. It's a complete mind blower. And I can't tell you the last time I've been to a movie where I really didn't know what was going to happen at every turn. You know what else that happens on when you watch Breaking Bad? I have no idea what the fuck is going to happen. No fucking idea. And that's completely exciting when things aren't predictable, when at every turn you don't know what's going to happen. Sort of like life, if you live it. I can't believe I appreciate you doing that photo shoot with me.
Yeah.
And I don't understand at the level of popularity that you are at, on some level, that was nothing unusual.
No.
I'm really glad I gave you the ginger candy, because that's
It's a bad idea.
Well, it's not one of those things that you can really just
I can swallow it really fast.
No, don't. Take your time with it. Let me introduce you properly while you finish your ginger candy. Chewing on that Asian ginger candy you get that you can never get out of your teeth right now in the garage is Aubrey Plaza from the show Parks and Rec, from the movie Funny People, from that other thing you do.
What's that?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd throw something in.
Oh.
Isn't some other things?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, yeah. That was good. That was a good movie.
Thank you.
Did you have fun with that?
Yeah, it was really fun.
I think the first time I met you was in Montreal, and was I a dick? Or do you not remember? Oh,
no, I remember, yeah.
What do you mean? How so?
No, I don't know. I was totally, out of my mind, nervous that night. But I remember you were sitting there, and you were all, cool and calm, and I was, trying to talk to you because I was nervous.
Were you trying to talk to me?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, you're just being nice then? Being diplomatic?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember I was like, who the hell is this? How come I've never heard of her before? And I didn't realize that you did stand-up. And you went up there and you kind of killed, and I was like, holy shit. She's got jokes and stuff.
Yeah, that was a weird experience for me, that whole Montreal trip. Because I was I came kind of out of nowhere, so everyone kind of had a weird attitude towards me.
Really?
Yeah.
In general, career-wise, you came out of nowhere?
Just in general, because I hadn't done stand-up before the movie and at all. And
is that true?
Yeah. I literally, the first time I ever did stand-up was because I was auditioning for the movie, and I knew their only problem with me was that I wasn't a stand-up, so I told them I was just going to start doing stand-up and send the videos to Judd Apatow. And so I wrote a set and filmed it and then sent it to him, and then I got the part. And then I had to start doing stand-up. You
had to?
Yeah.
Because for the movie? For the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I came out 2 weeks later after that. And
after Montreal or no?
No, Montreal was almost a year later, because I came out in the fall. Judd started putting me up in shows with the rest of the cast, and they had already been doing shows for months. And so I started doing it and getting booked at the Improv and the Laugh Factory, along with Seth and Jonah and Adam Sandler. And because I was getting booked with them, I was just getting booked as me. So when I stopped doing shows with them, I could still get booked at those places, even though I hadn't done it before.
How did you feel about that?
It was weird. It was I kind of felt like I was a total fraud, but I wasn't, because my shit was working.
Right.
So it was a weird situation, because people were kind of had the attitude of me of who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, that's probably what I did.
Yeah. You didn't struggle and do a bunch of shitty shows every week, night after night. You're now going up the Laugh Factory after fucking Sebastian or whatever.
Right.
And I was yeah, I know, but they wouldn't let me go up if I was totally tanking. So it was a weird thing.
So you were able to go up and pretty easily follow Sebastian? Because that's not easy.
That was really hard. That night sucked.
Really?
Big time.
How, like, now, can you still count the number of times you've done stand-up, like, in your head? I mean, how much did you have to do? So, okay, so let's walk through this for a minute.
All right.
Because I'm sure this was probably why I was a dick to you, knowing me, was I had those same thoughts, was, who the fuck is this girl who can just do stand-up? Because I come from that way of thinking. We were sitting out there on my deck, and I felt old for a minute. I felt like, you know, I was actually, I don't want to drop names, but I was leaving a message on Shecky Green's phone.
Oh, here we go about Shecky fucking Green again.
Look, I don't know him either.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, look, so you get the part, you auditioned just as an actress. How long had you been in LA at that point?
I wasn't in LA. I literally had only done one movie, an independent film, and nothing else. And I didn't have...
What was that?
That was Mystery Team with Donald Glover and Dominic Dierkeys and
Right.
DC Pearson. And I was actually halfway through that movie in New Hampshire when Allison Jones, casting director, asked me to put myself on tape for a secret project. That was Judd Apatow's next movie.
Uh-huh.
So I put myself on tape literally in like the middle of the night in New Hampshire and sent it over. And I improvised. Donald Glover helped me actually do it. And then after that, they flew me out to LA like a month or two later to read with Seth Rogen.
Now, like, I see your disposition now. Was there a point where you're like, holy fuck, this is happening? Or like, I'm excited?
Yeah,
or...
I totally like had no idea.
Were you screaming and running around the room?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I literally went from doing internet videos to doing that movie. I mean...
With that mystery team in the middle.
Yeah, with the mystery team in the middle. But I mean...
How'd you know Donald?
Donald and I went to NYU together, and we did UCB stuff like around the same time. We're the same age.
Same with Pearson?
Same with all those guys.
So you were part of a crew?
I mean, I wasn't part of their crew.
Right.
I was kind of flying solo. But they were aware of me, and I was aware of them, and we were all film students.
That's an amazing story. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, it's sort of what happens, and it's amazing that all you guys are now sort of surfacing.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Now, I know, because I see DC Pearson around. So, okay, so then you're in New Hampshire, you're shooting this movie with Donald, and you shoot this out to Judd, and you were you still in school, or you were out?
I was out of school at that point.
Now, how'd you end up in New York? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Delaware.
Who grows up in Delaware?
Me and
I just met
Valerie Bertinelli.
That's all, right?
And Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah. Who did I just... I asked somebody who I just met who grew up there, and they gave that exact same list of people.
That's pretty much it. I mean, you could count Ryan Felipe, too, but...
They also gave that guy, too.
Yeah.
That's it? That's all of them?
That's it.
Wow. And now Aubrey Plaza.
That's right.
Can be added to that list.
I was the Grand Marshal of the Wilmington, Delaware Christmas Parade last year, so if that gives you any indication of Delaware.
Well, Delaware's own Aubrey Plaza comes back.
That's right.
And what you did you wave from a car?
I purchased a king's robe.
Uh-huh.
And I told the chief of the parade or whatever when they asked me that I would only do it if they gave me my own float.
Yeah.
And then I could put my whole family on the float.
Yeah.
Because they told me they wanted me in an antique car driving behind the mayor.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll only do it if you give me a float.
And
they said, all right, we're going to give you a float.
Yeah.
And I stood on the top of the very top of the float with a king's robe on.
Yeah.
My whole family was sitting like on the bottom. Like I have a really big family.
Yeah. How many?
I couldn't even count. I have like 20 cousins on my dad's side, and like my mom has 8 brothers and sisters.
Oh my God! So everybody gets on the float.
Everyone's on the float.
So why not just call it the Plaza Family Float?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that your real last name?
That's my real last name. Yeah.
And so how many people? Like, give me an idea.
On the float,
like 30, 40?
Yeah, like 30 maybe. 40,
and
maybe not 40, probably 30.
Was it anything? It was just a big platform for you and your king's robe?
It was like a platform. It was like it had 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at the very top.
Did you demand 3?
I just demanded a float. I didn't want to push my luck. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I was just shouting. I was just being really weird. I mean, downtown Wilmington is a weird scene to begin with. But
not weird in an ironic, cool way. It's just actually weird.
It's shady and
oh, really?
And a little dangerous, yeah.
And that's where you're
yeah.
And you didn't grow up in that part of town?
I mean, I grew up near it, but it's like you don't really grow up downtown. I mean, some people do, I guess, but
You got brothers and sisters?
I have 2 sisters.
Older, younger?
Younger.
So you're the oldest sister.
That's right.
Were you terrible?
I don't know what that means.
Really?
In what way? Like,
Were you mean to your sisters?
oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not. I think we have a pretty big age gap. Like, Natalie is 20 and Renee is 14.
Oh, okay.
So we never like fought like that.
Because it would have
so
been
much older
really
than them.
unfair.
Yeah.
It would have mean you were truly a bad person.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Are they pretty excited about you?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think also it's probably a little like it gets old to them, I think, you know.
Yeah. Have they wanted you to introduce them to anybody?
Renee, my youngest sister, wanted to meet the Jonas Brothers and Channing Tatum.
And were you able to facilitate that?
I facilitated both of those.
Wow.
And that's pretty awesome.
How'd you manage the Jonas Brothers?
Jonas Brothers was like one of those meet and greet things that I got my agent to pull off.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah, I knew someone at CAA that knew their manager, and then at a concert in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I brought my sister for her birthday, and we went backstage, and she was crying, and I videotaped the whole thing on my flip cam. It was pretty awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Was she able to talk?
No. No. But I mean, she has a picture of her and Joe Jonas like touching, and that's like gold.
Yeah. To
in
her?
School. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like,
and this is, how old is she now?
She's 14 now.
Oh,
that
my
was
God.
2 years ago.
Oh, so she was it.
Yeah.
She might as well have had her own float at school.
Pretty much.
And what kind of stuff what did your dad do growing up?
My dad was and is a stockbroker from Merrill Lynch.
Oh. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And your mom, what'd she do?
She's a lawyer.
Wow. So
Yeah.
No hard times.
That's actually an interesting question because both of my parents, they had me at a really young age when they were 20.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a really big accident. And
does that hang over you? Are you sad about that?
I think it informs a lot of my comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
And they started kind of with nothing and worked their way up. So my dad didn't, he wasn't like going to college and stuff. He was like a cab driver for a long time.
When they had you?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Oh, so you could have been like the thing that ruined their future.
That's right.
And they transcended. They rose above the horrible mistake that was you to go ahead and build successful lives for themselves. Is that the wrong way to frame it?
No, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I wish someone said that to me a couple of years ago.
Do they tell you that?
No.
So your mom must have still been in law school when she had you.
She was in night school when I was younger. I had a really different childhood than my sisters. We were pretty poor.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents didn't have a bed. They slept on the floor. I was in a crib. They were on the floor.
Wow. They told you that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day of my fucking life.
Well, that's actually a pretty amazing story.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't, once a kid comes, if they had big dreams, some people just, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I still kind of can't believe it. They were really ambitious, and I don't know how.
And you get along with them?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm proud of you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I get along with them.
Now, all right. So now let's go back to this funny people business.
Okay.
So you fly out here. I just like the excitement of it. So you send in this tape, and then what happens?
Okay,
they call
so I
you?
send in the tape.
Yeah.
I go for a week to LA.
Right.
I had 3 meetings. One was at Sony to do a chemistry read with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And just a side note, they had already cast someone else, or they were thinking of casting someone else in that part.
Did you know who it was?
It didn't work out.
Right.
I do, but I'm not going to mention names. But it didn't work out, and so they were re-looking at me. They looked at my tape and they were like, "Let's just see what happens if we bring her out here, I guess."
Yeah.
And then I had a meeting I had an audition for Edgar Wright for Scott Pilgrim, and just a general meeting with Greg Daniels and Mike Schur about the show.
All at once.
All in the same week.
That's fucking insane.
And
all of them happened.
Yeah, but I didn't know, like, I didn't know about the show. I didn't really realize the meeting about the show was, like, anything. And the audition for Edgar, I didn't even know he was going to be in the room. I thought it was just, like, a preliminary thing.
Right.
And I walked in and he was sitting there. Like, it all was, like, kind of insane.
And you had big rep already? Or
I was kind of working with Diane McGonigal at CAA.
Yeah.
But I wasn't signed with them.
Right.
I really didn't have, I wasn't, like...
Yeah.
I literally drove a car from Rent-A-Wreck. I was broke.
Right.
And I just like went.
How'd you fly out here? They fly you out at least?
I flew myself out.
So this is that great moment where you're like, fuck it, it's got to happen now.
Yeah.
And you were living in the city?
I was living in Queens.
Where?
Astoria.
Me too.
36th Avenue and 32nd Street.
I was at 37th Street and 30th Avenue.
Nice.
Oh man, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about where we ate. And how we never saw each other.
I know. I ate everywhere. Well, I ate like near my house a lot.
Did you eat at Uncle George's?
No.
The horrible greasy Greek place?
No, but I ate at the Captain.
Oh, the Captain.
That's
seafood.
where I lived, right there.
You lived right at the
Captain?
Captain?
Right on the block. Yeah.
Oh, that's not a bad place to live.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you get the Captain's platter?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Scallops, lobster, fish.
Yeah, that place is awesome. Their fish is so good.
Everything's on it. They give you lemons with it, and you walk in, and right there's your fish.
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you like? Can you make me this one?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, please. Yes, please. A lot of that.
Yeah, I miss that.
You do, right?
Yeah.
Where do you live now?
L.A.
Yeah, up in the hills, hanging out.
I live like right under the Hollywood sign.
Just a reminder, you're winning.
That's right.
Soon you'll be able to climb up to the top of the H.
That's right.
No fish, though. I loved Queens, man.
Yeah, me too. I miss it there.
Did you, because you were doing ECB stuff, a lot of people don't realize how great Queens is. I mean, I had an apartment there for like 15 years. All right, so you fly from Queens, and there you are. You do these 3 meetings, and then?
I do the meetings. This meeting with Seth was crazy. I got there maybe an hour and a half early.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. I was by myself. I didn't know what was going on. I literally hid in the bushes on the Sony lot because I heard Seth's laughter. Because he has a very distinct laugh.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them to know that I was there so early. So I hid.
You literally hid in the...
Literally, like, behind a tree.
Yeah.
And had my headphones in, but there was no music in there. And I was just pretending to listen to music and be like, I'm cool and everything's cool.
Yeah, I'm just standing behind a tree on the Sony lot listening to music.
And then I waited until, like, 3 minutes before I was supposed to be there, and I just, like, casually walked down that little main street to the thing.
The fake Main Street?
And I saw them. I kept my headphones in to the very last second. No music was playing at all. And I went, oh, hey, guys.
Uh-huh.
What's going on?
So you manufactured some serious cool.
That's right.
Yeah. But inside, you're like, holy fuck.
And inside, I was like, I have no idea what's going on. And then...
And it was who? It was Seth and Judd?
Seth and Judd and Evan Goldberg. Who's Seth's writing partner.
So were you just, like, you were nervous as fuck? I mean, be honest. I mean, I know you do this sort of, like, even keel thing, but come on, man.
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was actually such an extreme situation for me that, like, it actually helped my nerves because I really, really was like, there is just no fucking way that I'm going to get this. Like, there's just no way.
It was too crazy.
So I was like, kind of having the attitude of like, whatever, like this.
Really?
You
got to that point?
I mean,
That's pretty profound.
Couldn't believe. I was like, if I'm here in this situation with Seth Rogen, yesterday I was like,
in Queens,
eating Thai food, like whatever, watching, and I was like, I literally have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
literally.
And,
so
and what happened? You walk in. The Judge's pretty nice guy. I have to assume Seth is. I don't know him.
He was really nice. There was a big spread, a lot of fruit on the table.
Really? They put out the fruit plates?
Didn't touch any of that.
Yeah.
Just walked by that. There was a chair. I sat down. I had my script. And then Judd was like, let's do the scene. We did it once on the scripts. Seth was very nice. And then he was like, all right, let's just put the scripts down. And let's just play. And that was when I got comfortable. Because I was like, holding the script and reading the lines, that was where I was really nervous. And then when we put it down, I was like, I can do this. I just have to make them laugh.
Do you remember how?
No.
Was it just a beat? Were you in conversation?
I mean, it was just like Judd it's almost like he's a third part of the scene.
Right.
When you're doing a scene for him, it's like he's in the scene too, like kind of yelling at you and being like, say that, why don't you say Bob Saget? I remember one line was like, I kept making up something where I was like, okay, well, I'll try not to fuck Bob Saget while I'm gone, or something like that.
Oh, right.
It went like good. I mean, I didn't walk out of there being like, I nailed it. I was just like, all right, well, I think I made them laugh.
Did you know you were playing a part roughly based on Janine? At any point?
Yes.
You did, because you saw those. Did Judd tell you that?
He didn't tell me that, but I gathered.
After you got the job?
Yeah, I mean, I listened to a lot of the stories and I saw the footage and stuff. I mean, I wasn't like, you know, in my head thinking when I was shooting the movie like, I am Janine, but
No, but
I definitely like knew that.
And when did you find out you got the gig after that?
So then after that, I went back to New York and maybe a month went by. But I was really freaking out.
How does that look when you freak out? You just quietly eat, or?
I do this to my hair.
Uh-huh.
I do a thing where I listen to my hair. If you ever see me doing this,
yeah,
I do like a loop like this,
yeah,
and then I scrunch it inside of my ear.
And you listen to it?
And I listen to a sound that I'm usually freaking out when I do that.
Is that calming?
It's like my therapist said it's a soothing
yeah?
thing.
I wonder how long you've been doing it. Do you know how long you've been doing it?
Since I was a kid.
Really? That's amazing.
Because I do that, and then I do this with my lip, and I remember even when I was a
you
kid.
Pull on it?
I like make a little loop with it.
Oh.
I do both those things because my parents would always like yell at me.
They would? Stop playing with your lip.
Yeah, they would just bat my hand around.
Yeah.
You did that to your mustache when you were a baby too?
Yeah, I've been doing this since I was 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the mustache. Yeah. Sometimes I pull on my neck.
That is attractive.
Or do you ever, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I pull my ear. I actually caught myself doing this on stage when I'm bombing. Like
You'll just pull on your ear?
I'll just pull on my lobe.
You're like, the answer is
yeah.
somewhere. You just gotta pull it out.
So you have a therapist? That's good.
Yeah, I try to go. Every time the session ends, I usually go, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, so
Why?
I'm probably not going to come back.
Because you don't think anything's happening?
And then I go back. No, something's happening. But
Really? You getting to the bottom of it?
I mean, you know.
What are your big problems?
I don't know. I think it's like I don't know. Or do you really want to get into that?
I absolutely do.
I think I have like it's hard for me to emote.
We were just talking about that.
So when she asks me like questions, like it's like I feel like she's gonna try to make me cry or something. And then when I start to get upset or whatever, then it's like it's like successful or whatever. But that's like a zone where I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, it's better if we just keep all that.
Really?
Shoved deep down inside.
So you don't let her get in there?
I mean, I can't stop her.
But you feel her working you? Like, you know?
Yeah, and then I go, all right, well, I think this is probably going to be the last session for me. And then I go through that conversation with her where I go...
Right when you're about to cry?
Right, like mid-cry. I'm like, I'm not coming back next week. I'm really busy anyway, so... And then she'll text me and be like, I'd really like to see you again next week. And then I'll go, all right.
Yeah.
It's like almost like it's like I fire her and then rehire her every week.
I know. I've had therapists a long time. I fired one just because what happens to me is I'll be sitting there. I'm like, do you really think this is working? I mean, if they don't probe me enough, and then I went to some guy and I cried almost immediately a little bit.
Will you give me his name so I never go to him?
Yeah. You just don't want to cry.
No.
When did that start?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's with the stifling of emotion?
I don't know.
Are you afraid you're gonna lose control or what?
Maybe.
Like just sort of like never be able to stop crying?
Maybe. I think yeah, maybe.
Like, cause I feel like that was my big concern, actually, in having you over.
Why?
That I wouldn't be able to make you cry.
You won't be able to.
I know. I'm just kidding. But no, that I would not, like, you would be like, like the Aubrey Plaza that I know from film and television. And that I wouldn't be able to get a sense of where you were emotionally, but it seems like that's a problem you have.
I mean, it is, but I can say that I'm not. It's the characters that I play, like, those characters, I mean, I just happen to do them in a row. Like, that's not really...
I can tell you're completely different.
Totally me. I mean, it's just, that happens, I think, when you do one thing and then...
But did you find that when you were, like, improvising, that because you have a power of comedy in this sort of detached, you have a specific, way you handle comedy, and it seems to be pretty authentic to you. You must have been getting laughs with this disposition because the character is a little emotionally blocked off and a little detached, and that's what's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to figure, like, when you're talking to your therapist, do you get to a point where you're like, just back off?
I don't get like, I don't get like that.
Yeah.
I'm not like back off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get like
Yeah.
defensive.
Right.
It's more, I don't go outward. I just go deeper inward. And
You feel it happen?
there's a lot of silences and
Really?
a lot of, because I'm already like in my head all day long. I'm just always just in my head, daydreaming and just.
Are you like neurotic in there? I mean, are you you spinning plates and saying like, I wish my hair was different. Why didn't I get that role? That guy's an asshole.
No, it's more like it's like there's just a constant stream of thoughts.
What are some of the themes?
Of the theme, a lot of worrying, a lot of I think I sometimes like kind of take on the weight of
other people,
of things too much. And it's hard for me to be totally present sometimes. I have to like really try to be like here.
Right. It's better. It's because it's easier to be in your head.
Yeah. I
do that all the time. I mean, I talk about that on stage, right? If like, because people have said that I'm in my head too much, and then I'm like, well, how the fuck do you get out? Has anyone suggested like meditation to you or that kind of shit? Have you tried that?
Yeah, I started doing yoga last summer, and that helped me a lot. I had a pretty serious like anxiety issue, and when I was 20, I had a stroke.
What?
Like an actual stroke.
How the hell did that happen?
It happened. There's a lot of theories on why. At the time, my doctors thought it was because of the birth control pill.
Yeah.
But that has since been negated, and it kind of boils down to like migraine-related stress.
That's how you get migraines as well?
I used to. I haven't gotten them in a while.
Now, what happened when you had a stroke? I mean, did your face go numb?
I was in Queens actually when it happened, and
so you were in college.
I was in college. It was the summer before my junior year.
Yeah.
And it really was a freak thing. It literally, I didn't have a headache. Nothing was wrong with me. I took the subway in to have lunch with my friends in Astoria.
Yeah.
I got into their apartment. I sat down. I was talking about a Hillary Duff concert that I had taken my sister to the night before. And then I looked down at my right arm, and then all of a sudden, it was like my brain was telling me that wasn't my arm. It was like and I literally thought, whose arm is that that's on my leg?
Oh my God.
It was like my arm was just detached from my body, and then the whole right side of my body was paralyzed for like a second. And I remember like I was hitting myself, like hitting my arm, like
to feel it,
to figure out what was going on, because it wasn't numb, it was just like not there.
Right.
And then I kind of blacked out for a second, and then the sound got really weird, and I regained all my motor skills, but I couldn't talk, and I just was making a weird sound. I was like going, oh, like that.
Oh God, it's horrifying.
And then my friends thought I was doing a weird bit, and they were like, stop it, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh.
And then I couldn't talk. I had an expressive aphasia, because the blood clot was in my left temporal lobe, which is my language center.
Oh God.
So like the paramedics came, they were like asking me questions, and I was totally there, and I could understand what they were saying to me, and I knew what the answers were, but I just forgot language completely, and I forgot how to write. Like,
so you're like imprisoned in your head.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was really the craziest thing that's ever happened.
And were you able to walk?
Yeah.
So what ultimately happened is that you regained the feeling on your right side.
I regained it right away, pretty much.
But you couldn't communicate.
But I couldn't communicate.
Oh my God.
They took me to the Mount Sinai in Queens hospital.
The one down by 21st Avenue?
Yeah.
Or where? Oh my, yeah.
Not a good hospital.
Yeah.
And I was in the ER for 2 hours before a doctor even saw me, because I looked fine. I was so young, and I looked fine, but I wasn't fine. And finally, when they brought me in, the doctor had me do like a really simple thing where she was like, put your right hand on your left knee, and I couldn't do it because I was confused.
That's so fucking
And then
scary.
they freaked out, and they were like, oh my God, she's having a stroke, because it was very obvious that I was having. If anyone like did any simple stroke test on me, they would have known right away.
They just didn't assume that you were 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? How long did once they diagnosed it?
So I think it was this second day at the hospital, I started talking again in the middle of the night. I like remember waking up and being like, Aubrey Plaza, and saying my name. And then I started talking, and then they transferred me to the hospital in Delaware so I could be in Delaware near my family. And I was there for a little bit. And then, I mean, there's not much you can do when someone has a stroke.
The clot has to work itself out. Don't they have to keep an eye on whether it travels?
They can keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't get worse, but your brain has to heal itself.
So when you woke up and said Aubrey Plaza, you had been probably just sitting there trying to just do that, right?
Yeah, I was trying, and I could say some words. Like, I was saying some words, and a lot of them were the wrong words. Like, I remember in the hospital, they would ask me, like, the same questions over and over. How old are you? And sometimes I would go 16. It was the only number I could get out. I don't know why. And then, like, Joe, my boyfriend at the time, was like, you're not 16, she's 19, or, she's not 16. And then he'd be like, are you 16? Like, what is going, because he didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I was like, no, I'm not 16.
So he was actually afraid that you might have been fucking a minor?
Yeah, he was like, if you're 16, we have to have a talk. He was freaking out. That was the first time he met my parents. We had been dating for like over a year. They came to the ER. They met in the ER when I'm like,
God.
I mean, it was like really intense. But
did they like him?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That gives you an indication of the level of like anxiety. I mean, because essentially, like, it was stress related.
Well, maybe. I mean, your stress didn't make a blood clot.
Well, maybe, but that can happen.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've been anxious your entire life?
I guess, yeah.
Like sort of paralyzed, because you seem so sort of cool but it's now it's striking me that you're kind of compressed. Like if you're anxious, because I know when I get really anxious, because I have anxiety issues as well, that I get overwhelmed and almost exhausted, and it feels like some sort of mild paralysis.
Yeah, if I get anxious, I just close my eyes and have a stroke.
Yeah, I mean, you took it to a whole nother level. I mean, I'm impressed in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That sounds really dramatic. I'm fine.
No, but I mean, now you have that anxiety on top of other things. Yeah, that you did that to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, actually, after the stroke, that was actually when I really started having panic attacks. Because anytime I felt weird, I immediately was like, "Well, I'm gonna have another stroke, and this will be the end." Mm-hmm. And I've gotten over that. That doesn't happen to me anymore. But I used to that was a big problem for me in the past couple of years. But since then,
And in terms of like, carrying the world on your shoulders, do you get concerned about like the end of the world and like other people or pain or the animals? How does it manifest?
No, I don't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah. Oh, good. Just about you and what's
just about me and my own problems. Got to get my apartment together.
Yeah.
Should I get a cleaning lady? Can I? No, I don't know.
No, I hear you.
I don't know what it is.
Going back to, so you start shooting funny people is the theme. This is our through line.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
How much of that, like Jonah Hill to me is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's got this uniquely, naturally funny, angry disposition.
Yeah.
I think it's
he's really funny and unapologetic about himself.
Is he a nice guy?
Yeah.
And Schwartzman was with you and Rogan, so that was the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much freedom did Judd give you to kind of fuck around?
A lot of freedom. I mean, I've never, even since then, ever worked on something where the camera was rolling as much as it was. I mean, and I guess because, he had so much money, he could afford it, but it was like the camera never cut. We were just always improvising, just coming up with like alternate ways of doing the scene and joke after joke, and he let me do whatever I want.
I also think it was a very personal movie for him, in the sense that like it was his life.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that for everyone. Like everyone, it was really personal for everyone, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was like essentially playing myself. I mean, I literally started doing stand-up for the movie, and in the movie, I'm starting to do stand-up. So all those shows that I did in the movie were real to me.
Right.
So the line was a little blurry there.
Do you like doing stand-up?
Yeah, I really like it.
Do you still do it?
No.
Huh, my natural reaction to the whole idea of you doing stand-up and doing well with it is sort of like, oh, wow. Well, I mean, obviously anyone could write 10 minutes and be funny if you're a funny person because you had improv experience. But were you finding that you were able to get out any of your fears or anxieties or pains? Were you able to be honest with it? I mean, would you like to go back to it?
Yeah, I was. Like, I really liked it for that reason, actually. It did feel like I got really into it because of the movie, and there was a lot of momentum there, and I was literally being paid to go up night after night and get into it, and then after the movie was over, it was like I had a weird thing where I was like, am I a stand-up or am I an actor like playing a stand-up? And then I just got really into it, or am I going to keep doing this? And it was a little hard for me to figure that out.
What's stopping you from doing it? You don't have the hunger to do it because you don't need to do it.
To be honest, when I started doing the show, it was really hard for me to do both. Like,
right.
I couldn't. Aziz is so disciplined, and he
with stand-up.
I mean, also he's been doing it for so long, but like, I couldn't do what he did. Like, I couldn't shoot all day and then go to the improv and do it.
Workout sets.
And also, like, and I'm not just saying this, but it was because I started out in such a weird way. It was almost like going after the movie was done and everything was settled, and like that's actually where I met you in Montreal, because that was a year after the movie and everything. When I started doing it on my own, it was like I had already done shows at the Improv and the Laugh Factory and the Comedy and Magic Club and Hermosa Beach or whatever. So like if I called them and or I had my manager call them and be like, put her up, like they would put me up. But like you can't do like new material in one of those shows.
Yeah, you
if you're not, you know. So like, and then when I would go to
if you're not confident.
Right. If you hadn't done it a bunch of times at
because you were
show.
doing the same 10 minutes.
Right. So I was like, I had new material, but then when I would go to like smaller shows or like open mic nights or whatever, like it was also hard because it was like people had this weird expectation with me where like
you're the girl in the movie.
It was a weird thing where it's like I didn't really fit in either.
Yeah, it must be hard because the comics are going, who the fuck is she? And then the people that know you from television or movies are like, oh, it's her.
They're like, let's see what she's got.
Yeah.
You think you're fucking stand-up? Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't like part of the scene. Like I wasn't like with like a bunch of like stand-up peers and we're all like struggling doing our thing. I was always kind of like in the corner, like trying to like act like I belong there. And
but don't you hang out with Donald still or no?
Yeah, I do.
And he never offered you to bring you on one of his shows?
No, I mean I did a show with him in New York. I mean, it's not an excuse. It's just it was just a weird time, and then that on top, and then with the show, and honestly, I just got really busy. And
I get it, but it just seems that with your particular type of brain, that you'd be great at it.
That's something that's always in the back of my head, because when I did do it and it was working, it was the best feeling in the world. Like yeah, it's the best.
Yeah,
I hope that I do it. I will do it again.
Are you making a promise to the world
I promise
on my show?
The world.
All right, so let's talk about Parks and Rec now. Now, I enjoyed that show. A lot of funny people. Did you know Aziz in New York as well?
I didn't know him that well, but when he was first starting out, I was doing improv, and I would do shows with him. Like my improv group would go, and then he would do like his old sets and stuff. So I knew of him, but I didn't know him that well. And
when you guys are on set there, I mean, it's interesting. When you first started doing that, how long did it take for the ensemble to really gel and everybody sort of hit those beats? I mean, because you all can rely on each other pretty well. Do you guys get off script much, or is that pretty heavy scripted?
I mean, it's kind of like we do the script, and then we all know that like once we've got it, we're gonna play around with each other. I feel like Aziz and Amy and I like definitely speak the same language, and so it felt really, really comfortable.
Do you surprise each other a lot? Are there?
I think so.
Those moments where you're like, you get done with a shot and you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, a lot, and like it's kind of cool too, because even with the non-comedic parts of the show, with the dramatic stuff, it's like we surprise each other with that too, you know. It's like it's cool to be able to like do a scene with Aziz and try to make it feel really real and hit like a weird emotional thing with him, you know, like because not many people get that opportunity. Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about working on the show, is that it's great for me because I am playing this kind of like disaffected like girl who's like over everything, but the real great moments are when like Andy makes me happy. And,
Yeah,
and you're like, wait a minute, like, I'm smiling. Like, people, like, that, people say that all the time. Like, they're like, you know, the one time that I smile in the episode or whatever, it's like that much more satisfying.
Well, that's like, it's like powerful because you don't do it.
Yeah. But it's in there, you know.
Do you have things that make you to have fun in life?
Yeah.
You do? Like what?
Well, I see a lot of movies.
Have you got any movies coming up that you...
I've done 5 movies since we went on a break.
Really?
Yeah.
What, in the last 6 months?
In the last 6 months. And the one that I just got back from doing, I was the star of. And then I start one in 3 weeks where I'm also the lead.
What are they about? Who's in them?
So...
Who directed them? Give me something.
So the movie I just did was called Safety Not Guaranteed. And the Duplass brothers produced it.
Mark and the other one?
Mark and the other one. Mark Duplass was also in it, playing opposite me, and Jake Johnson was in it.
Did you have to make out with Mark Duplass?
Yes.
Okay. How was
Twice.
that?
It was just fine.
Yeah. Okay. He's a nice guy,
Not
right?
weird, not bad.
Do you
It was
find
good.
How often do you kiss people in movies? I'm trying to think. In Pilgrim?
Not in Pilgrim. I haven't really had to do it too much. In the past, I did a movie this winter where I was married to Brian Garrity, so we had to do a lot of touching. But the movie I'm about to do, it's like I get all of that out of my system in one movie. There's a lot of physical. It's way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'll be very excited to see me.
How'd you handle it?
I haven't done it yet.
Like, what do you got to do?
It's a movie called The Hand Job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically about me playing like almost a Tracy Flick-esque character in the 90s who hasn't done anything with guys. And she decides one summer to make it like an assignment to do everything to learn everything to do with guys physically.
Oh.
So I do everything in it.
Wow.
And it's terrifying. I'm terrified. I've been terrified for the past week. It's starting soon. I can't believe it.
Now, but it seems to me that given your disposition, having, acting like you've never done any of those things would be easy to do in a way.
I'm not afraid of doing any of those things. I'm just afraid of doing it on
That's what
camera.
I mean. So you can use that.
Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes.
In Parks and Rec, what season is this?
4.
And is Amy Poehler sort of like the den mom of the whole thing?
Yeah. She's like the mom. Nick Offerman's the dad.
Uh-huh.
I'm like the angsty teenager.
Yeah. Who are you?
Aziz is like the weird uncle.
Yeah. When you were at NYU and when you were starting out, when did you sort of decide that this was where you were going to go with things? What path were you taking?
Oh, I decided that a long time before college.
Did you do it when you were in high school and stuff?
I mean, when I was like 12, I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to be on Saturday Night Live.
You guess you're going to have to.
And I got really into that, and I started researching people on the show, figuring out, trying to connect the dots, figuring out how they got on the show. And then a lot of it was like improv, groundlings, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do that. It was like I was pretty motivated from early on. Like, I knew what I wanted to do.
Did you audition for Lorne?
I actually did a showcase for him the week that I found out I got the movie, Funny People. And it was at UCB. They had chosen a couple people. I was doing it alongside Bobby Moynihan and Ellie Kemper and a couple other people. And it went well, but I never got, an official audition. I don't know if I would have, but when they offered me the movie, I even said to Diane, my agent, like, maybe I shouldn't do it, because what if I can get on SNL? And she was like, that is not a good career move for you. Do not say no to this on the off chance that, but I really meant it. I mean, I was seriously considering
your dream from childhood.
Yeah, I was like, it felt like, I was giving that up. I'm not even saying that I would have gotten on. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten on.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have, but that was a real thing for me where I was like, my whole life I wanted to do that. And,
the great thing is that maybe that dream can stay intact Maybe, you know, what if you'd gotten there and it wasn't exactly what you wanted or it didn't work out? I mean, now that dream can stay intact and maybe someday you can host it.
Yeah, that would be pretty great.
It would
I worked there. I interned there for a year, so I did get to be there.
At SNL?
Uh-huh.
As a page?
I was in the design department.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just hanging out?
Yeah.
And doing sets?
I was like, you know, putting like I would decide like where a painting would go in the set or.
So you're like, did you know some of you must have been completely starstruck and excited.
Totally, but I was like keeping it cool the whole time, fucking like going under the radar. Like Amy was there, she didn't know who I was. She was like, "You worked there for a year?"
Wow,
which is unheard of too, because interns aren't actually allowed to work for 2 semesters, only 1. But they liked me so much that they made an exception.
So who was there? Amy was there. Tina was there.
Amy was there.
Jimmy
was there. Tina was there. Yeah, they were all there.
And you didn't build a relationship with anybody in the cast?
No.
Did anyone take notice of you?
No.
Really?
I had one drunken moment at an after party where Fred Armisen came out of the bathroom and I like attacked him. And I was like...
Sexually attacked him?
I mean, it's debatable, but
yeah.
I was like, you are my favorite person on this show. And I was like, because I would read every sketch. I would steal the sketches. I read all of them. I would take them home.
Really?
Yes. I was like a fucking weird, creepy spy stalker, like, for sure. And I read all of his sketches that didn't get on, and I would, like, every week when they would announce what was getting on, I would, like, have these quiet, like, things where I'd be like, I can't believe that his fucking pigeon sketch didn't get on. These people are crazy. Like, Lorne Michaels has no idea what he's doing, you know? Like, I was just like, I wanted to, like, run that whole show. But, you know, I was like, no one knew who I was. It was weird.
Didn't you get to work with Armisen now?
Yeah.
That must be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I did 2 sketches on Portlandia with him last summer.
Oh, that's
awesome.
A heartwarming story.
Yeah.
Did he remember you?
No. I mean, he knows me now, but he didn't remember that moment. No.
Oh, that's too bad. Or probably good.
Yeah, you know, it was 4 in the morning.
Did you tell him about the amassing the Armisen scripts and?
No. No, I kept that for you.
So he had no idea that you were a borderline stalker?
No, but I did tell him. I said, you know that one sketch that I think it did actually eventually make the show a year after I was on.
The pigeon sketch?
The pigeon sketch where he's on the roof. I don't know if you remember. It's a really weird sketch where he's like on a roof with a bunch of pigeons and he's like talking to the pigeons and like that. I can't even explain it, but I told him, I was like, you know that sketch? He was like, yeah, like no one remembers that. And I was like, that was funny. And like that should have gotten on the first time.
And I have a copy of that in my house.
Yes, and I've rewritten it in my own blood and I sleep on it every night.
So who are you working with in the sex movie?
Bill Hader.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious. Nice guy too, huh?
Yeah, he's awesome. His wife is directing it and also wrote it, Maggie Carey. And that is cool because Maggie and Bill were actually they were the reasons I got anything actually ever. Really? Because I did a web series with them a really long time ago, which is where Diane McGonigal, who works for CAA, saw me in.
Which was that? Which
was called The Jeannie Tate Show.
Oh, that's right. What is that? What was it?
It was a web series about a soccer mom played by Liz Kakowski who runs a talk show from her minivan while she's running errands. It was a 5-minute like show, and I played her teenage daughter, Tina Tate, who was always like drunk and getting arrested, and she would always have to pick me up and put me in the van while she was interviewing a celebrity. And they had actual celebrities on the show. And Rashida Jones was one of the celebrities who at the time I didn't know, and I was like, 19, 18, and whatever. So that web series was a really big deal for me. So I'm really excited that I'm doing a movie with them. It feels like it's kind of coming full circle.
I think it's profound that you are a real example of how show business works now. I mean that
with the internet.
Well, but not just with the internet. That there's a group of people that were taking it upon themselves to create content and create original sketches and series, and we're able to do that. I mean, I'm doing a podcast in my garage, but actually all these things sort of kind of fell into line for you. And I think that, me being, weird or resentful of anyone's success because, things seem easier, for you than they were for me. It's just a different way of doing it. I mean, people are more able to express themselves more precisely and actually get stuff out so easily now.
Yeah, I also think for me, it's like, I do think there was a shift from when I was doing like that web series and other videos, because I was writing a lot of my own videos.
Yeah.
And I was getting really into it, and that was when the Derek guys were too. That time, it was kind of...
The Derek guys, you mean Donald and
those guys? Like, I feel like we kind of hit the jackpot with timing, because it was right when like that stuff was getting really popular.
Right.
But there wasn't that much out there. Like it was
right, it was getting a lot of attention.
There was a handful of people making videos and stuff. So it was getting a lot of attention, and that's how I started working with CAA. But right now, I feel like already it's just totally changed, because once people caught on to that and they were like, oh, she did that and then she got there. Fuck it, I'm gonna fucking do a web series or a video. Right. But now there's so many of them that it's almost hard.
It's a glut. Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I think what happened was it got a lot of attention because they were trying to figure out, how can we own this? How can we make money off of this? How can we, take that and make it TV? So what happened was they weren't ever really able to do that, but they were able to cite talent and give you opportunities. Yeah. So now there's a lot of people running by that old model, like, we just got to make 10 episodes and it's going to be on television.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and it's harder now than it was.
Yeah. Do you ever talk to people who are younger who are like, how the fuck, tell me how to do it? And
yeah. I mean, a lot of people ask me that.
Yeah. And what do you say?
I say, I just have no idea. I just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I say yes to everything. You never know what's going to lead to what. And it is all about like people that you know. Because I remember when Maggie asked me to do that one video on a weekend, I did have a thought in my head where I was like, maybe I just want to stay in bed and not wake up at 7 in the morning and do a weird web series in Hoboken. But I was like, no, of course I'm going to do it. She's married to Bill Hader. Like, it's really funny. Like, who knows what'll happen with it? Yeah, absolutely. And then I did it, and then it worked out. So, who do you really want to work with? Like, in your mind, what would be a dream thing for you? I mean, you already worked with Armisen. That seemed like pretty much a dream. Yeah. God, that's a hard question. Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah. That'd be pretty awesome. That would be actually funny to work with Rosie O'Donnell. Did she have a lot of impact on you when you were younger? Yeah, I really loved her when I was a kid. Yeah. She actually did. When I was in middle school, I read her autobiography and I would carry it around with me. It was called Rosie. Uh-huh. And she wrote all about how she was like, never have a net. If you have a net, you will fall into it or whatever. And I was like, well, Rosie says never have a net, so I'm never going to get a real job. Yeah. She did have a big impact on me. I liked her a lot. Have you met her? No. I would totally love to meet her. And Janine Garofalo, I mean, she was really big for me too, and I would love to work with her. And have you met her? I did meet her, yeah. Did you have a good chat? Yeah. I had a funny interaction with her the first time I met her. It was at UCB. We were doing a show together. Actually, It was when I was doing stand-up. Yeah. It was like Comedy Death Ray or something. Yeah. And she was in the hallway. And I don't really get starstruck that often, but that was really freaking me out. Like seeing I stole the lineup that had both of our names on it. You like taking pieces of paper. Yeah, I'm a really big thief. She was smoking an unfiltered cigarette in the hallway. Because she's really into those, I think. She breaks them off. And I don't smoke. Mm-hmm. Really. And I was just standing near her. Yeah. And I kind of was looking around, and I think she thought I wanted to bum a cigarette off her. So she was like, you want one? And I was like, I'm in. I was like, yeah. So I said, yeah. And she was like, it's unfiltered. She was like, it's pretty hardcore. I gave it to my friend the other day, and I told him it was unfiltered, and he said, give it to me anyway. And then he almost passed out. I mean, it's... She was actually smoking unfiltered. Yeah. She was like, it's pretty, it's rough. I was like, I'm good. I want it. Give it. Oh, they come in the tin, like those English ovals or something? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, give it over. Hand it over. Let's do this. Because I was like, I got to smoke a cigarette with her. Yeah. And it was really, I mean, I was dizzy. I was trying to keep it together, but I almost passed out. I was like, I'm excited about the show. Yeah. That's funny. So that shows you how shallow I am. I'll just do anything for... No, you want to meet kidding, but I like the idea of you and Rosie O'Donnell. I think it's very sweet that she had that kind of impact on you. Because she was pretty ballsy. Who else are your comedy heroes? Any guys? I mean,
Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen. I would love to meet Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I think you could probably do that too. Don't
That'd
you?
be pretty cool. I met Shandling, played basketball with Gary Shandling. That
He's
was
a
awesome.
sweet guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Was it awkward or was it good?
It was good. I mean, but I'm always just like, I have no idea what he is thinking or feeling at any moment, so I'm always like scared that he just like wants me to get the fuck out of his face. So I'm like always kind of weird.
You play ball with him a lot?
But no, I've just a couple times, but it was fun.
Yeah, and you're going to play ball today?
That's right.
Is that just a pickup game that you just show up at, or is it a comic game?
A comic game?
At the Y?
Oh, no, it's a pickup game.
Oh, yeah? You just go play?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Did you play in high school?
Yeah. I played for my church.
You're a baller? Is that what
I'm
they say?
like a baller. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I know I don't look that like athletic, but I'm pretty good. It would surprise you.
Because I've seen those games at the Y in Hollywood, and that's insane. Sometimes you get some pretty competitive dudes in there.
Yeah, I know. But it's interesting for me because they look at me, I'm a girl, and they get all like annoyed, and whoever's like stuck defending me is like usually the worst player, and then they're like, you know, totally emasculated, and they're all in their heads, and I just use it to fuck with them because I'm pretty good on defense. So it's like everyone like almost gives up on me because they don't want to try, because then if they fail, it's even that worse for them. You know, so it works out in my favor.
Yeah, do you usually blow them away? Are they impressed?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple times where people were like, "Oh shit, she just did that on you," and then they're like, you know, fucking with the guy who's defending me. It causes there's a lot of different dynamics, and I'm really quiet. I don't talk much. I just kind of play. Yeah. I'm not like, ow, you know, like I get my position. I get that I'm a girl. I get it, that it's weird. But it's like, you know. Deal with it, yeah.
Did you ever see Ryan Gosling over there? I saw him there once. Does he ever play basketball?
No, I've never seen him.
You've never seen him there?
No.
I did. I don't know if he goes there regularly, but it was weird. I saw Ryan Gosling at the gym. I was on treadmill at the Y, and and it was amazing he was doing a great job playing Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It's just like he was so fucking
He's just so
Ryan
Gosling.
Yeah, just right there.
Gosling it up.
Well, good luck on your movie.
Thanks.
And thank you for talking to me. I think it went well. You feel good about it?
Yeah, I feel, you know, as good as I'm going to feel about it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just wanted to end it on a weird note.
Well, I mean, I didn't try to make you cry.
All right, I feel great.
No, I'm curious about you crying.
I feel hot. I'm physically hot.
I know.
I'm going to have another ginger candy.
Hold on. I'm going to put the air on. Let's end with the air.
All right.
Can you feel it yet?
No.
All right. As soon as you can feel it, I'm going to stop the tape.
I don't know how I'm going to feel that. It's not even pointing at me.
Just give it a second. Nothing?
No.
I felt it.
I think I'm feeling it, but it might be psychological.
I feel it a little bit. You feel it?
No. I'll do this all day.
I'm right there with you. I got no problem with this shit. I mean, I'll fucking wait this out. I mean, I bought that air conditioner.
All right, I feel it.
All right. Who knew? Who knew that about Aubrey Plaza? Who knew all those things? Great stories, nice conversation. Glad she came over. And I'm glad she posed for those pictures with me in Entertainment Weekly. That was very nice of her. She didn't have to do that. That's our show. Remember, my CD comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow, August 9th. You know what else tomorrow is? The day that my CD comes out. And I'm going to out myself. Not in that way, but I have 12 years sober. August 9th. That's fucking insane. 12 years since I took a hit of pot. 12 years since I had some scotch or some fucking Jack Daniels or some cocaine or some pills. 12 years since I took any of those major mind-altering things. 12 years, man. God, if I keep talking about this in this tone, I'm not going to make it till tomorrow. So let's move on. As always, go to WTFpod.com for all your WTF pod needs. JustCoffee.coop. Get the WTF blend. I get a little on the back end of that one. Get the apps for the iPhone, the iPod, the iPod Touch, that is. The iPhone, the iPad, the iPod Touch, the Droid. You can pick up some premium episodes at WTFpod.com. Get on the mailing list. Very, very diligent about the mailing list. Please get on there. I write for you every week, for you personally. And by all means, have a good day. 12 years tomorrow. Jesus fuck. Why did I just say that? Why not just Jesus Christ or holy fuck? Or what the fuck? God damn it, I want to drink.